What is up, my weebs? Welcome to the first episode of the Chiefcast. And when you're probably wondering what is the Chiefcast, it is just simply put a podcast where I talk about animes that I've seen or that I am currently watching. And as you can tell by this picture here, we are talking about the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle movie. I give it a 9 out of 10, and I will list the reasons why 9 and a 10 out of 10. But we're going to talk about the individual fights in order and what I thought about them. And you'll see there's like a reoccurring, what's the word? I'll just say thing that happens in each of these fights that kind of really, in my opinion, messed up the flow of the fights, if that makes sense. But you have so at the beginning, the intro, you're going through and you're seeing all the Hashira uniting together. You get Gyome, Tokito running through the Infinity Castle. You get the Demon Slayer corpse fighting the demons, Kanroji and Iguro. You see Tanjiro and Giyu running through, Zenitsu and Inosuke. So you get all of them, and then you get Shinobu, who's just walking through one of the parts of the Infinity Castle, and she finds Doma. And so you get a flashback of Shinobu's sister dying, and she's explaining to Shinobu what this demon looks like. And I really wish that this fight lasted longer, because Shinobu was going crazy. I mean, the animation was. I will say the animation is 10 out of 10. That was the. And the music, oh my god, the music was so good. But yeah, so Shinobu and Doma is the first fight. And you get to see Shinobu really unleash the insect techniques on Doma. And I wish that she actually made a dent. It was sad watching her do all that, and Doma's just laughing his ass off. And then and then she dies. She basically gets absorbed. All that effort to avenge her sister, and it just seemed like it was quick. They just wanted to get this fight over with quick. And I wish it had lasted a little longer. We can see more of Shinobu's technique. But we got some like a flashback of Doma's life. No. Here's what kind of. I am not a fan of flashbacks, especially in the middle of fights. It like ruins the flow, in my opinion. But this movie is filled with so many of them. And I guess, yeah, we want to see the backstory of the demons. I guess some people do. I'm just one of those that I really couldn't care. Like going back to the entertainment district with Tengen and versus Gyutaro and Daki. I'm trying to remember if there weren't a whole lot of flashbacks in that episode. And it was just combat, straight combat. This might be because I recently watched Solo Leveling, and that's basically what it is. It's just combat. So I might be, my brain might need to readjust to Demon Slayer. But yeah, Shinobu does her best using all her poisons, and Doma just shakes it off. It was really interesting and pretty cool to see his blood demon art with the snow and his fans. Um, and then you get like as Shinobu's being assimilated, Kanao shows up, and you're like, damn, she's seeing her master die. So I felt bad for Kanao, but we got to see some flower breathing. That was pretty cool. I'm guessing we like, and full disclosure, I have not read the manga. There's just no time for manga reading these days. So I don't know what's happening. This is all happening in real time for me. All these fights and deaths. So I am being surprised, which I like. No spoilers. um, but yeah, so Kanao shows up, flower breathing. Um, really sad about Shinobu being assimilated by Doma. And then that's the end. Like I just wish she had, she wanted to avenge her sister so bad, and in the end, she really didn't do much. At least from what I've seen or what I saw. So that's the first fight. That's Shinobu and Doma. Next up, we get Zenitsu and Kaigaku. Another fight that I felt was way too short and riddled with flashbacks, man. I don't want to go on a rant about flashbacks. That's not what I want to do. But they would do a couple thunder breathing techniques. Flashback, more thunder breathing techniques. Now it was really cool to see Kaigaku and the other forms of the other thunder breathing, because with Zenitsu we only really got one thunder flash and clap, right? And then there was like 8-fold, 10-fold. But it was really cool to see Zenitsu lock in and really give an emotional speech about the old geezer. And Kaigaku's like red lightning was really cool to witness, and the other, like I said, the other forms of thunder breathing technique. What else about that fight? Like I said, I felt like it was way too short. Zenitsu comes up with his own not secret technique, just was it seventh technique? That was pretty cool. But it seemed like it was just a few rounds, and then Zenitsu unleashed his god technique and then cut Kaikatsu's head off. So yeah, another fight I felt was too short, which I understand why they were saving it for the big one. Giyu and Tanjiro versus Akaza. And I just wanted to say that it was nice that they still included, like, it wasn't all serious, right? There's some moments with Murata and the demon boy that's working with the demon slayers, having a nice little joke fest. So there were like some moments where Demon Slayer was like, "Hey, we're still funny here and there." They kept their humor, the Demon Slayer humor, within the movie, which was great. It was nice. Really, it caught me off guard at moments, and I genuinely laughed. It's great storytelling overall, man. This movie was so good. Oh my goodness. But yeah, with the third and final fight of the movie, Giyu and Tanjiro versus Akaza. So good. This fight, the animation, the only thing that killed it for me, and if you can you guess it, was, well, now I'll give this fight credit. They saved the flashback for like the very end of the fight. There was like bits and pieces here and there, but for the most part, the fight just like flowed. It kept going. You're like, holy shit! Look at Tanjiro and Giyu team up. and Akaza just being a freaking beast of a demon. It was. I'm glad that they saved it for the fight for the last fight of the movie. Kind of surprised that it happened early, like in the first part of this trilogy movie series. I thought the Akaza would last until the very end of the trilogy, but they have to start off with a bang somehow. Um, but yeah, the fight was so good, and then we got the like longest flashback of the movie. I believe was Akaza's. Like I said before, I guess it's cool to learn the backstories of these demons and how they came to be. Um, just wasn't expecting it. I was just there for the action. And like I said, that's probably just because I was watching Solo Leveling for a while. Um, but to see Giyu unlock his mark, fire, and to see him go all out against Akaza, like for the most part, Giyu has always just been like, I'm the water Hash. Well, he's not. He doesn't consider himself the water Hashira, but he just overpowered every demon he went up against except for Akaza, and it was really cool to see him. And he even talks about it in the movie, like um, awakening his senses that have gone to sleep because no one's pushed him this far until this fight. And then seeing Tanjiro unlock the transparent world and like even cutting off Akaza's head. Um, I will say that I am kind of disappointed in how Akaza went out. Basically, he took himself out. When Tanjiro cut his head off, I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the end of Akaza. But then he started regenerating. I was like, no, no, not like this. Poor Giyu's sword is broken, and Tanjiro passed out. That was kind of stressful. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of stressful. um, but yeah, Akaza is like he's probably my favorite demon. And now that I know his backstory and how sad it was, and how he genuinely wanted to be good, but because the people around him were terrible, and like that led to terrible events. See, I'm coming around on the flashbacks. I'm trying to think of what else in that fight that I loved. Um, I think that basically covered it. And then it ends with the crows. Um, where and the crows start announcing Tanjiro and Giyu's victory over Akaza, and the credits start to roll, and we're showing everyone again. Um, but yeah, that was like the gist of the movie, right? The three fights: Shinobu, Doma, Zenitsu, Kaigaku, Tanjiro, and Giyu against Akaza. Oh, and Kobayashiki's son leading the Demon Corps, the Demon Slayer Corps. What the heck? Like they were locked in. Oh man, and seeing Tengen. Oh my goodness! I was like, oh, he's there. He's not in the Infinity Castle, but he's watching. He's guarding over the sun with Kyojiro's kin of the Rengoku line. Both of them watching over. That was pretty cool to see Tengen make a cameo appearance. He's officially retired as a Hashira. I'm trying to think of what else I could talk about. I don't really want to make this long and I can't make it long because I'm just talking to myself. Um, we will revisit Demon Slayer Infinity Castle when the homie watches it. So we'll talk about it again. But yeah, I think this is a good point to end for the first episode. Keep it short. Talk about just the 3 points that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I give the movie a 9 out of 10. The flashbacks kind of killed it for me, ruined the flow, which is why it's not a 10 out of 10. But I don't know. I'll probably come around once. I don't know. Maybe I won't. But yeah, that's the first episode of the Chiefcast. Let me know what you think of the movie, and stay tuned for more. I don't know if there's an anime out there you'd like me to cover. Let me know in the comments, because right now I'm kind of in a drought. I tried watching Dan to Dan. I couldn't get into it. Might jump back into Jujutsu Kaisen, because that one got pretty good, and it's more my style of anime. But yeah, let me know what you think of the movie in the comments, and I will see you all on the next Chiefcast episode. Peace.